This video will take you through and give you an appreciation of how the patient actually signs into the system for a consultation. It's important that you as a doctor have some idea of what the patient has to do so that you can appreciate what the patient has done when you are allocated that patient for a consultation. First of all, just like your own screen, the patient needs to either log in or sign up. So let's assume the patient does not have an account already. So they will click sign up as a patient. And that will bring them to a similar screen that you were faced with, where they have to put in their name, they put in their email address and a password, and then validate they're not a robot. And then they click on sign up. So having signed up, similar to yourself, when you signed up, they will receive a confirmation email, which they need to confirm back to the system. That simply means that there's no individuals out there setting up accounts for people that they want to randomly set up. That's fairly common in most sign-ups throughout the internet. So this is what they're faced with. Who do you want to talk about? Now, this is set to myself. This is a feature that has been disabled, but some other telemedicine systems are able to provide, and other versions of this one are able to provide people who want to talk about their own family members, maybe their family member doesn't speak the language, and so on. Next, you have to put in your phone number, and this is a mandatory field. So they will enter their phone number, and then they can put in their age, and then the gender, select male. Now, it's mandatory that they put in their Phil Health ID number, and this has to be in a valid format, as you can see. So it's 2 digits and 9 digits and then 1 digit. Then they must put in a province that they're in, and this is simply a free-form text field, so they can enter the name of the province, the name of the town, and the particular barangay to which they belong. And here's some questions they will ask. Now remember that this system is specifically created for COVID. This version of the system is for COVID-19. And by the way, these questions have been suggested by the Department of Health in the Philippines. And so it's at their request that we have put these. So typical questions: do you have a fever over 38.5? So let's assume they say yes. Do you have a cough? Do you have difficulty breathing? And do you have any other symptoms? And as you'll see, a number of these are particularly relevant for COVID. So let's just say that they've got severe fatigue, they select that. And then, do you have any of the following medical conditions? So again, very relevant to people who, if they do have COVID, it indicates some sort of comorbidity. So let's say they choose diabetes. Have you travelled outside the country in the last 14 days? Have you had contact with anyone who has been confirmed with COVID? And are you a healthcare worker, which is relevant information? And how concerned are you that you may have the virus? So they choose. Now, as you'll see, the very next step is Call Now. So in their own sign-up process, they are able to immediately have a call with a doctor. So if I click on that button now, what the system will do is to put them in touch with whichever doctor is next in the queue. So if you're logged on as a doctor, it's quite likely that this patient will end up being connected with you. So if I click that, you'll just see what the patient sees. Now, the next thing before the call actually is connected is the patient has to agree to a consent clause. And this is a clause that is provided to us by the Department of Health in the Philippines. And it virtually makes the patient aware that they're having a telemedicine call and what any risks or consequences and what their rights are for such a call. And all very important is what's happening to their medical records. And our system is HIPAA compliant with all the data protection requirements in the US and Europe. That also exists not only in English, but it's also in Tagalog for them. So once they've read through that, they will either agree and proceed or cancel the call if they don't agree with those conditions. So having given their consent, they agree and proceed. And this is what they see. So they will now wait here until a doctor picks up the call. And if you're the doctor in the queue, you will get a message saying there's a patient out there and you have the ability to either accept to consult with that patient or not. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like from the patient side. So I'll sign off here and then we'll show you a video of what it looks like for you when that patient actually signs up for a consultation. Thank you.